Hello everyone, and welcome to video 5-2. In this video we're going to continue talking about pictorial views. We're examining the same part, which, as I said before, is it's moderately complicated. It makes a confusing drawing. It's not very easy to look at. Even for individuals who've been trained in blueprint reading, sometimes visualizing a part like this can be kind of difficult. So we create a pictorial view. In this case, we're going to be talking about the oblique views, the second family of pictorial views. Like we said before, there's axonometric, oblique, and perspective. And we're going to be concentrating on axonometric and oblique. Now, the obliques are the easiest pictorial views to draw. They're the easiest because any surface that is parallel with the frontal plane of projection is actually drawn just orthographically. If I separate this surface, you can see it's drawn just like we would draw anything using orthographic projection. So therefore, these can be very quickly created. Now, although they're the simplest and they're the quickest to create, not many people use them because it's just not a very natural look. As far as pictorial views go, it is the least realistic representation of your part. Now, the oblique family has three members, just like the axonometric family. You have general obliques, cavalier obliques, and cabinet obliques. What makes oblique views different from one another is the length of the receding lines, these lines here that represent the depth of the part. Okay, all oblique views have them, and they're always parallel to each other. They never intersect. And you can see here we have them in all three of our oblique views. The big difference between these views is general obliques, the length of the receding lines is drawn at 3/4 scale. What that means is that if this line on the part is 4 inches long, when you're creating the general oblique, you would actually only draw it 3 inches long. Therefore, it's 3/4 scale. On a cavalier oblique, the length of the receding lines is drawn full scale. The problem with the cavalier oblique is that even though it's the only one that's drawn to the actual length, to the real length, if this line is 4 inches long on the part, you would draw it 4 inches long in the oblique view. However, you get a distorted view. These parts, it just looks overly long. It's not very easy to look at. And then our third oblique is the cabinet oblique. The receding lines for a cabinet oblique are drawn at half scale. So if this line was 4 inches long, when we create the drawing, it's actually going to be drawn 2 inches long. So it's half of its actual length. Now, one thing that's very important to note about these oblique views is that the angle that's used to create them. The angle of the receding lines can be drawn at any angle. The individual creating the drawing is going to choose the angle that's going to provide you with the most information about the part. However, even though you can use any angle, they are more commonly drawn at 30 degrees or 45 degrees than any other angle. But like I say, that is not a rule. The individual creating the drawing can choose any angle they wish to choose. And that's it for oblique views. Thanks for watching.